First off, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to those elders and apostles out there from Great Millstone who teach and rule well. A lot of respect to you brothers out there on the highways and byways preaching this truth around the four corners of the earth. And salutations to the hopeful elect that you guys may be sealed soon. And with that, this your brother Dawaba from the branch of GMS here in Chicago, coming right back at you with a little lesson. And as you see on my phone screen here, I got an article from Forbes. Matter of fact, it's been multiple articles since I've been seeing this. It says from Consumer Tech, nationwide emergency phone test for October 4th sparked conspiracy theories. And it says by Matt Novak, senior contributor. And it says FEMA and the FCC will test a nationwide emergency alert on Wednesday, October 4th, sending a message to every mobile phone across the country at 2:20 p.m. Eastern Time. But conspiracy theorists on TikTok and X, the social media platforms formerly known as Twitter, are convinced there is something more nefarious behind the plan. In fact, they insist the nationwide test will activate something within the venom blank that could turn people into walking zombies. October 4th, 2023, FEMA activates 5G zombie apocalypse. If you got the blood clot, you are screwed. For those of us who did not bend the knee, real estate is about to become much cheaper. Well, need lots of ammo though. Don't say I did not warn you. One typical tweet read. The video shared by that account has been viewed over 150,000 times and counting, insisting that 5G cell phone networks were all a part of the plot of harmed Americas. Over on TikTok, the conspiracy theory is spreading even faster, with some videos falsely claiming the cell phone alert will be one of the loudest sounds ever recorded in history. Other TikTokers are making dark predictions, usually similar to exaggerated claims about the real purpose for this emergency test. As FEMA explains in a press release from the past August, tests of the emergency alert system and wireless emergency alerts are crucial for alerting the public in the event of severe weather or any other serious event. I'm going to read just a little bit more. The WEA portions of the test will be directed to all consumer cell phones. This will be the third nationwide test, but the second test to all cellular devices. The test message will display in either English or in Spanish, depending on the language setting of the wireless handset, FEMA said in a press release. Conspiracy theorists have long been spreading misinformation about 5G wireless technology, which is simply technology that allows for faster data speed on wireless networks. And while the 5G conspiracy theories died down in late 2010s, they found new life after the pandemic hit in 2020. Some people have even claimed the venom contained a small microchip, an assertion that isn't true, which will be activated by Microsoft founder Bill Gates at some point in the future. And I'm not going to read no more, but you sit up here and get the gist of everything that's going on. They talk about October 4th, which will be this Wednesday. They supposed to sit up here and be doing an emergency test, through the phones. And a lot of people sit up here and believe that. And when they do that, it's going to activate that venom from people took in 2021, for the pandemic, and they believe that it's going to cause some type of problems. Now, whether it does or doesn't, that's one thing. But the one thing I will sit up here and say about this whole thing is, even though they sit up here and say they're going to do this, I'm kind of like in the belief that they're not. And if they do, they do. But I'm quite sure other brothers might think if they say they're going to do it on one day, chances are they're not. This is something, if they do it, it's going to be a sneak attack. Especially if it's something that's going to sit up here and activate that venom. But with that, I'm going to sit up here and get a few scriptures, because I sit up here and say these devils, when they do shit, man, they'll say it aloud, but they'll end up doing it like at a different time. It's kind of crazy if you're going to sit up here and do something. When you sit up here and make a point about something, giving the people a chance to sit up here and take the necessary steps or precautions to stop them, to not have something happen. So if they believe that it's going to activate something, a lot of people might take the necessary precautions to sit up here and cut their phones off, not be around them. But you got to understand, if you ever look at that movie, The Kingsman, The Golden Circle, I think that's the name of it. When what was his name? Samuel Jackson, he sit up here and activated them phones. And guess what happened? It didn't matter if you was around one. It didn't matter if you had yours on or not. If there was anything in the vicinity where you heard that frequency, you went off. All people just started killing each other. But this is Second Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. Let's say 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. We're not ignorant of what this damn devil might do or what he can do. Can it happen on October 4th? Yes, it can. I think someone said that if they don't do it on October 4th, it's October 11th, which is a backup date. Can it happen on that date? Possibly. But like I said before, these devils, yeah, they might sit up here and say they're going to do something, but they might not actually do it on their date. And a lot of times they just want to see the reaction of what people might do. You know, you got these social platforms. You think these devils ain't looking? You think these elites ain't looking? You think your Bill Gates, your Klaus Schwabs, all these motherfuckers ain't looking at what people might say or what they might do? Yes. And so what? They might take this into account. They trying to get that new world order. Anything, everything they're going to look at, they're going to throw stuff out there. And people got to be wise to what these devils do. These devils lie about everything. But like I said before, 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. We ain't ignorant of what this devil does with these phones. We ain't ignorant of the social media. We ain't ignorant of the social platforms. We ain't ignorant of what this devil puts out in the news. We're not ignorant of all the shit that's going on because we understand that this motherfucker has an agenda and he'll use anything and everything to accomplish it. With that being said, let's go to Psalms 58. Because these devils are liars. You know, these devils are liars. They'll say one thing and do another. You know, when you look at their fine print, when you look at the contracts they set up and all this other stuff, they don't keep their word. And if they do, it's always a little way out. They lie about everything. Psalms 58 and 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. The poison of a serpent. They are left like the deaf adder that stop at her ear. Them motherfuckers, man, as soon as they sit up and get a chance to lie about something, they're going to lie about it. Doesn't matter. And they'll continue with their lies and continue on with their lies. Their doctrines is bullshit. You know, here it is when you fill out a contract on something, or if you sit up here and borrow loans and all this other stuff, there's always fine print and bullshit in their documents. You know, for where they can come and do this or come and do that. They could take this or take that. They've done it throughout the years. They've done it throughout. Why you think these other nations and countries mad at these fuckers? You know, because they be on bullshit. They lie. They don't keep their word. You know, and they might say, hey, look, we're going to do this on this day, but they just getting a reaction. That's what I believe. Now, could it happen? Those are just my own words. It's just me speaking as a man. Can it happen on October 4th? Of course. They might let it happen just to see what people do. Just to see if people don't put their phones on. You know, you think they don't sit up here and see all these things? They might do it on October 11th, just to see if people don't put their phones on. People don't have their phones, they cut them off for 2 or 3 hours. You know? Then they might, then they'll know. We're not ignorant of what these goddamn devils will do. You know? These motherfuckers are liars, and they constantly thinking of ways to sit up here and trap you and snare you, fuck you over and do everything. And you too, you so-called black Latinos and Native Americans especially. But they don't care if they fuck over their own either. You know? But this was just something through the spirit, man. I wasn't going to make this long. I was just sitting up here just thinking about it. You know, and I sit up here and said, at any given time, these devils can do anything. But with that, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to those elders and apostles out there from Great Millstone who teach and rule well. A lot of respect to you brothers out there on the highways and byways, preaching this truth around the four corners of the earth. And salutations to the whole world, like that you guys may be sealed sooner with that. I always say stay prayed up, brothers. Pray for each other because we're almost up out of here. So with that, I'd like to say Kwam Yasharella and Abba Ball. Shalom.